Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lockie. This is Coast Sport Football, and we are here for a live edition of the round predictions. That is for round 17. This one is, man. We did a live version of the round review a few days ago. A lot of fun. You guys were in here in the live chat. We got to talk about things, discuss things live here in the chat. So, of course, love to get you guys in these live discussions that we have. And, of course, if you're watching us on replay as well, drop your predictions for this upcoming round down in the comments because we're going to run through these games, predict them, analyse them a little bit. And, yet again, I'm sure we're going to have an entertaining round of A-League football. Let's jump straight into the first game. And, of course, we have Melbourne Victory, Macarthur FC, which is kicking off on Friday night. It's kicking off the round. And, of course, hopefully as many games as possible can go ahead this weekend. If you are in a flood-affected area, it's affecting so much of this east coast of Australia. Thoughts going out to you guys. And, it's obviously a crazy time at the moment. But Melbourne Victory, Macarthur FC, down at Amy Park. Of course, Victory scheduled to play Brisbane last week. Didn't end up happening, so they've had a bit of a break, Melbourne Victory. And Macarthur FC have been pretty busy of late and have been building some decent form in recent games. When you think back to that 4-1 win against Macarthur FC, 4-1 win against Adelaide United they got. And then they picked up it was a really entertaining game, that 2-2 draw against Newcastle Jets. My prediction here, though, I'm back in Victory to get the 3 points. 2-1 to Victory. I think when you look at what Melbourne Victory are building overall this season, yes, we know about that slump that they had during that whole FFA Cup time when they won the Cup, but they've been losing games here and there in the league. Got back to winning ways against Mariners 2 weeks ago, and I think should get the win here. But the way Macarthur's been performing lately, I'm backing Macarthur to put up a really strong resistance. When you look at, Tommy Uscock getting on the score sheet yet again, his third goal from the centre of defence for Macarthur FC. Adrian Mariappa's been playing well. Of course, Craig Noon has really been kicking it into top gear. Ever since he scored that worldie of a goal against Mariners a few weeks ago, Craig Noon's been looking superb, as is De Villa. De Villa, since coming back from injury a few weeks ago, has been looking very, very good. Gianu, if they can get him back into the goals. Macarthur are a chance to come away with this game with something, but Victory at home, with the strength they have, should get the result. All right, let's roll on to the next game as well. And I see you guys in the live chat. Barry, Football Podcast, SB4, Mariners for Life. Guys, how's it going? Feel free to drop your predictions for these games as we go in the live chat. We'd love to hear your thoughts as well. And here's my thoughts on the Western United Newcastle Jets game, which is taking place at Mars Stadium in Ballarat. Of course, Western United, a team who have just been running the show in the A-League at the moment with their consistency and their defensive solidarity. Newcastle Jets, a team who, for the whole season, have promised so much, but we have to say have failed to deliver. A team who have been brought together this season, and as we come to sort of the halfway point of the season, they're still not quite clicking, at least defensively. I think we saw big improvements in recent weeks, so especially that game against Macarthur FC, they were very good and probably felt hard done by not to come away from that game with 3 points. I think Angus Thurgate's been clicking into another gear. Another player has been stepping up recently. I think now they've got Daniel Pena, Mikkel Datsi, both those two players, man. The partnership between those has really been looking good as well. I think if they get Valentina Yule starting, Olivia Bulmar, I think they're the two best wingers. Again, we look at the players on the park for Newcastle Jets, and you think they should be getting results. They could cause problems for West United. But the way that Leah Lacroix, Nikolai Topper-Stanley, Tomoki Imai, Josh Risdon are playing, Jamie Young even in goals as well, there's just, West United simply aren't going to concede goals this season. It's just not happening. It's just not happening at all. So my prediction, 1-0 to Western. Look, keep an eye out for Alexander Prijovic. He's been in fantastic form. Dylan Parias was tearing it up against Perth Glory last week, as was Lockie Wales. I see you guys in the live chat as well. Iggy's in here. How you doing, Lockie? I'm doing well. I'm doing really, really well. Elite Falcons is hoping to go to the Mariners game on Saturday. Want to see the Sydney Derby. Get her back up the local team. We're going to be talking about those Saturday games in just a sec. Of course, this one, it's actually, we've got a triple header on Saturday. It's really exciting. I don't think we've had a triple header at all this season. So this Western Jets game, kicking off at 3:05 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Mariners Raw, kicking off at 5:05. And then the Sydney Derby, 7:45 Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Iggy's going for 3-1 Western. I think we could see that too. I think in recent weeks too, there's enough to show that maybe we're seeing a bit more offensive creativity, if you like, from Western United. I thought against Perth Glory, they could have won that game 4-5-0. They were creating chances all over the place. Even Nikolai Topper-Stanley was wanting to get involved as well. So what else are we saying here as well? Football State says West United are applying Park the Bus extremely well, apart from when they play teams weaker than them against Perth. Football State says, come on, Newey. And Football State also says so much defensive quality. Elite Falcon says Western United shocked this season. But to be honest, 1-1 draw. Hate to say that Newcastle is strong from so 1-1. And that one top scorer, Macarthur from Newcastle, is going to score. Yeah, look, if anyone's going to score from the Jets, I reckon Macarthur for sure. And Football State says 2-1 Western. Okay, so maybe. I mean, look, and look, I would totally back. Like, I could see Jets mounting something in this game, but Western United, I think, should get 3 points in this game. As before, saying probably 1-0 Western United as well. Hey, let's shuffle on to those other Saturday games right now. We got Central Coast Mariners, Brisbane Roar. And you can see my prediction here for this one. And this is a very, very important game. In fact, this could well be the turning point for the Mariners season, or the most pivotal game for the Mariners season as we approach the halfway point of this season. The Central Coast Mariners have been struggling in recent weeks. That's been well broadcast, conceding late goals in the last 4 of the last 5 games. Mariners conceded in injury time to either to drop points on every occasion, whether it's been to come away with the game with a draw or a loss. It's been really affecting the Mariners. What do you guys make of this matchup? Mariners, Brisbane Roar. Talking about Brisbane Roar, again, another team who unfortunately weren't able to play last week due to the floods in Queensland against Melbourne Victory, so they've had some time off. Tom Aldred potentially back. Connor Chapman, will he be involved? New Japanese signing, Rio Wada could potentially make his A-League debut as well. Football State says both are off form, to be honest. Yeah, man. Look, it's obviously a bottom of the table clash, and a win is going to be monumental for either team. And this, for me, I want to say, is just more so than any game that the Mariners have played this season, is a must-win game. And not just because they're playing the bottom side in the competition at the moment, but because of the results in recent weeks. Mariners have to win this game if they want to stay in touch with the top 6. So have to win this game. If they draw, it's going to get even more worrying. If they lose, then Brisbane Roar jump up, and you've got teams like Perth Glory returning home, who we're going to talk about in just a sec, who are returning home and could potentially get back to winning ways real soon as well. Newcastle Jets, we know the dangers that they possess. Mariners have to win this game. Have to win this game. That's why I'm back in the 2-1 prediction. Look, being a Mariners fan, we can't accept anything less than a win in this game. Brisbane Roar have been really lackluster this season, especially away from home. Iggy's I'm going for 2-0 Mariners. Brisbane score, it would probably be against the run of play. Brisbane Roar, we have to give Brisbane Roar the fact that they have a great run of form down in Gosford. Last time Brisbane took on Mariners down in Gosford, they won 4-0. That was last season when Mariners finished third in the season. 4-0 to Brisbane Roar. And it's just always been a bogey team for the Central Coast Mariners. So look, I think this one will be tight. I don't want to go as far as saying it's going to be at least a 2-goal win. But I'm hoping that Mariners can get on the other side of things, right? And turn things around a little bit. And potentially be the ones to score the late goal, not concede the late goal as well. Football State's gone for a 2-1 Central Coast Mariners win as well. Yeah, man. Football State says, I hope for Lockie that Brisbane don't score late. Dude, if it keeps happening, I mean, I don't know what we're going to do as Mariners fans, man. I don't know what we're going to do. So look, so keen for it. And Mariners fans, if you're watching right now and if you're on the coast, get to the game. I implore you, get to the game. This is the game to get to against Brisbane Roar. We have to win. And these are the sorts of games where the team who have had a demoralising last month need the supporters to get behind them. These are the games where it makes a difference. 3 points is absolutely vital. Absolutely vital. If Mariners get 3 points here, we've been playing well, but simply not getting results. Conceding late goals, unlucky moments. Mariners need to turn it around here and now against Brisbane Roar. But we have a monumental game. One of the biggest games in the A-League calendar coming up prime time Saturday night. Western Sydney Wanderers, Sydney FC, and you can see my prediction here. I'm going 2-all. Now, we have to look back at round 1 when these two sides met at Combank Stadium earlier on in the year, last year. 0-all that game. It was a pretty lackluster game. Some defensive, the defensive displays were very good. We'll just say that, especially from the Western Sydney Wanderers. They really held out Sydney FC, who I thought had the better chances in that round 1 game. Western Sydney Wanderers under Mark Redan, have issues been solved? I don't think we can say they have. There's been some games where they've looked pretty decent. I mean, they picked up wins against Glory, against Melbourne Victory at home. Can they do it here against Sydney FC? I'm not sure. Now, Sydney FC have sort of had their own issues lately too, but obviously not as bad as Western Sydney Wanderers. But losing late on to Melbourne City in that grand final rematch last weekend, they've got a busy schedule coming up with some Asian Champions League games. The following Tuesday after this one, they take on Kaya, their Philippine side, in the Asian Champions League playoff game. We've got some predictions coming into the chat for this one. Iggy saying going 2-2 or potentially 3-2 win for Sydney FC. Football State's going 1-1. Both of us can't score many goals, says Football State. Derby's going to be underrated. 4-3. Football Podcast is saying 4-3 to Sydney FC. Goodness. Wow. Jet. Yes, we did predict the Western Jets game. I'll flick back to it for you. We talked about the Jets Western game. Gotta say 1-0 Western. But look, I there's not enough from either team to show me that they're going to win this game. I think Sydney FC, a big problem is the fact that they've halfway through the season, they're still looking to rebuild their best starting 11. Lafondra, yes, he's played the last few weeks, but is looking completely he's lacking confidence big time. If you watch him, he's not playing with the same energy and the same level of the same work rate. You don't see him getting on the ball as much. He's been a lot quieter in the games that he has played since coming back from injury. Costa Barbarousse is coming back from the bench. Has he had an impact? Not as of yet. But these are these key guys who are tearing it up for them in recent seasons, who have just been absent obviously in recent weeks and getting back to their best. Which no blame. You can't blame them, and they come back from injury. The other question is, does Luciano Narsing start in this game or potentially start off the bench? As far as I know, if he's fit and ready to play, get him in there. Let's do it. So Luciano Narsing, Football State's in here. He backing me up. Narsing might make his debut, Corica says. Sounds good. Dude, would love to see it. And would love to see how he settles into the A-League and what he could do, because he's a player with fantastic pedigree as well. 6-goal thriller. Dude, hey, just for the A-League in general, would love to see a high-scoring game. That's why I put down 2-2, man. I think it could get there. I think it'll start off similar to round one, where it'll be really cagey. Where both teams, defensive structure will be key, but then it'll start to open up in that second half. And I think later on in the season now it is a little bit more desperation for both sides. I mean, Wanderers would love to win this game to turn their season around against their rivals. So whereas Sydney FC they want to try and stay in touch with the top six, because they could slip out real soon if they don't start picking up points. But look, should be a really exciting game on Saturday night. Let's shuffle along now to the Sunday games, and this game. Now, it doesn't look that high profile, no disrespect to the teams, compared to the other games. Obviously, you got a Sydney derby. But this is the game I'm most fascinated to watch this weekend. Wellington Phoenix, Melbourne City. Wellington Phoenix, a team who are absolutely on the rise and have been for the last month or two, and have been building some really good form and just simply aren't losing games. They're competing with every single team, every single game, and they're really looking up for it. Bringing Scott Wooten, Gail Sandoval, two fantastic players. They've slotted in so well. Melbourne City, we saw them slip last night against Perth Glory, 2-2. They let a 2-goal lead slip. Melbourne City, yeah, they are, currently as it stands, top of the ladder. The Western still have a couple of games in hand. They're not the same as last year, Melbourne City. Look, they're playing very well, and I still think they're the best attacking side in the competition. The goals that they scored, nobody scored more goals in the competition this year than Melbourne City. But Wellington Phoenix, I reckon they'll get a result here against Melbourne City. I think there's enough to show that in recent weeks, Wellington have been playing well. And again, another team who have had some time off. Didn't play last week. Melbourne City have had a busy schedule of late. And one of those teams again involved in the Champions League. Got some predictions in the chat here. S before says 3-2 to City. Football State says this could be 2-2. Look, man, this will be a lot of fun. This game's going to be a lot of fun to watch, I'll tell you that, because it could go either way. I'd love to see a Wellington win. It would feel like an upset, because obviously Melbourne City are a big team, and Wellington Phoenix, who have just, again, for another season been in the wars with playing away from home for so long. I reckon they could get a result here as well. So let's shuffle on now to the final game of the round. We're going to talk about Perth Glory's homecoming match to Adelaide United. And first of all, how exciting is it? And look, of course, I'm not a Perth fan, but I'm just stoked to see the Glory boys back home, as I will be when Wellington Phoenix can finally get back home as well and play some home games. Perth Glory in front of a 50% capacity HBF Park. So potentially, that could be around 10,000 or more fans in the stadium against Adelaide United. I'm back in 2-2. This one maybe was the trickiest game to predict. Look, there's enough. Perth Glory, for me, are the weakest attacking side of the competition. When you look at the tactics and the personnel they have, goodness me, and the injuries they have. I mean, the recent weeks, without Sturridge, without Keogh, Adrian Sardinero is only just coming back. We've been playing fullbacks as wingers in recent weeks. Bruno Fornaroli really looks like the only outlet for the whole season. I mean, he's the only one that seems to be interested in bagging goals for Perth at the moment. But returning home after, over 100 days away, since their last home game, I should say, they could step up for a big result here. But they're facing an Adelaide United side who no one wants to play right now. Because Adelaide United, they always come back. We know about Adelaide United. We know what to expect from Adelaide United. So what do we make of this game? What's the predictions for this game? What are we expecting? Because this 2-2 draw, there's nothing to sway me that'll go either way. I think for Adelaide to win, I'm not sure. I think Perth Glory will come out with enough fight and enough spirit returning home to get a result out of this game. Will Perth Glory get the win? Adelaide United, we know what they're like. They're going to come back. They're going to get a goal. So I could see maybe Perth taking a 2-1 lead into that second half, and then Adelaide maybe coming late, scoring an equaliser, or potentially the other way around. Football State says, I'll go for 2-1 Adelaide win because Perth aren't playing good football. Garcia keeps chopping and changing the lineup. They always play like underdogs, and they're honestly not a great team. They're one of the weaker teams this season in the competition, that is for sure. As before, saying 1-1. That was, of course, 1-1 the result when these two sides met back in round one as well. So, look, again, really fascinating this matchup. There's a couple games that, again, you can see from my predictions here. There's none of the games that I think will be split by more than one goal. It's rare that my predictions are like that as well. Jez is saying, that Adelaide will edge it 2-1. Yeah, I look, when you look at quality across the park and the way the two teams have been playing, and obviously placements on the ladder, Adelaide fans would probably be pissed that I didn't tip them for a win here, because for them, I think a win would be a fair prediction. But yeah, man, Perth just come back home. Yes, they don't really have the attacking quality right now, and they're not playing the best football. But I think they'll sneak something out of this game. Really interested to see how Perth go with this extended run of home games. Will they really capitalise on it and utilise the games in hand they have to make a push into the top 6? I don't think they'll finish top 6 this year. I'd be very surprised if they do finish top 6. Again, no disrespect to Perth, but they're simply not playing well enough. So yeah, as well. Football Podcast in the live chat says, doing my first ever live match preview for the Jets game tomorrow. Very, very nice. So look, so excited for this round. And of course, we'll let you guys know the match watch-alongs that we're doing. It's going to be a very busy weekend. We're doing a watch-along tomorrow night for Melbourne Victory, Macarthur FC. Friday night watch-along. We're doing some fan interviews. It's a bit of an exclusive right now. Fan interviews are happening at the Mariners Brisbane game. So again, more of an incentive to get down, because we're going to be down there after the game shooting fan interviews for Mariners fans to let your thoughts know. So make sure you get down there. It's going to be happening at the park just outside the stadium following kickoff. Unless it's absolutely pissing and storming down and hailing down, it's going to be going ahead. So fan interviews following the Mariners Brisbane game. And then basically, as soon as I can get home from the Mariners Brisbane game, I'll be jumping here live on YouTube to do a watch along of the Sydney Derby. So whether that's just at kickoff or just after kickoff, keep an eye on here in the Coast Watch Football YouTube channel for the live watch along of that game. And then we're also going to be doing a live watch along of my most anticipated game of the weekend, Wellington, Melbourne City, Sunday Arvo watch along. So 3 watch alongs this weekend here on the Coast Watch Football YouTube channel. It's all happening here. Would love for you to join me in the live chats for all the reaction, all the discussion. Always appreciate you guys jumping in these live streams, man. We've got some comments in the live chat. Football State's a shame Sturridge hasn't played so far. Dude, I mean, just injuries, COVID. I mean, the dude's having the worst run. He really, really is. Like, I can't think of a marquee who has been in the wars as much as this guy. I mean, with the pandemic, it's just a real shame. And look, I mean, it's good that he can get back home in Perth. Hopefully that speeds up his rehabilitation because they don't have to be travelling as much. Man, I hope they can get him back as soon as possible, man. Because the A-League, not just Perth fans, but the A-League fans want to see Daniel Sturridge playing. Football Podcast says, I should come down to a Mariners game for a fan interview. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. We got F3 Derby, which hasn't been scheduled yet, down at Gosford, which should be happening sometime this season as well. Everyone tune into the watch alongs there, says Football State. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Can't come have a coat. Dude, SB4, sorry to hear that, man. Hope you're doing okay. Hope you rest up okay. And again, of course, as I mentioned earlier, with everyone in the floods and all the floods that are happening across the east coast of Australia, hope you guys are staying safe and well wherever you guys are tuning in from. Jezeboy says Saturday is going to be awesome. Dude, can't wait, man. 3 games Saturday. Dude, I'm keen for the triple header, man. Western Jets, Mariners, Brisbane. And then I'm going to speed home, safely speed home on the wet roads to catch the Sydney Derby. So, dude, I can't wait for Saturday too, man. So many big games. Football State says, yeah, I can't agree. I think he won't extend his contract beyond this season, Sturridge, because of the hardship he went through. Yeah, I'd be surprised if he sticks around, man. It'd be great if he did. I'd be surprised as well. Guys, thanks so much for tuning into this live predictions video. If you have enjoyed this, let me know. Let me know if you'd like to see more of these. Usually we do these as just pre-recorded, just regular videos. But if you want to see these done as live streams where you guys can get into the live chat, as you guys have done here, and I appreciate so much, and engage, and we can talk about these games, get some questions going in the chat, get some debate going. Really, that's really the whole point of this thing. And if you have enjoyed this, make sure you hit the like button. It does help me out a lot. If you're not subscribed, you can do that. If you want to stick around to all the A-League content, check out the match vlogs, the fan interviews, all the other discussion videos that we're doing here on the Coast Watch Football YouTube channel. Guys, have a fantastic and safe weekend, and I'll see you across the weekend for some live watch-alongs and so much more.